mole to mole ratio or volume to volume ratio. In the previous chapter, we talked about how to balance a chemical equation. However, we didn't talk about what it really means. So when you're looking at the balanced equation, you can talk about in terms of moles or volumes. So here you can say 2 moles of hydrogen gas reacting with 1 mole of oxygen gas to produce 2 moles of water. If you want to talk about in terms of volumes, you just replace moles with liters. So you can say 2 liters of hydrogen gas reacting with 1 liters of oxygen to produce 2 liters of water. However, I want you to make sure you understand these are ratios, not the actual amount. I'll give you an example. Let's say I have 2 apples and 4 oranges. Okay, this is oranges. I'm not really good at drawing, but okay, so you can say the actual amount is what? 2 apples and 4 oranges, but you'll notice the ratio is 2 to 4 from apples to oranges, and it can be reduced to 1 to 2. So the ratio does not really reflect what the actual amount is. It just tells you the ratio between here apples and oranges, in this case between the substance you're dealing with. So I want you to make sure you understand that it's dealing with the ratios. So how do we get mole to mole ratio? You just look at the coefficient. For example, if I ask you, what is the mole ratio between hydrogen and oxygen? You say 2 to 1. Look here. If I ask you, what is the mole ratio from hydrogen to water? You say 2 to 2. 2 to 2, or it can be reduced down to 1 to 1. What if I ask you, what is the mole ratio from oxygen to water? Say 1 to 2. So can you get mole ratio from balanced equation? I hope so. Now you can do the same thing. What if I ask you volume to volume ratio? I ask you, okay, what is the volume to volume ratio between hydrogen and oxygen? Again, 2 to 1. Hydrogen to water, 2 to 2. And lastly, oxygen to water, it's going to be 1 to 2. So again, these are ratios, and the first one we did was mole to mole ratio. So unit for this one is going to be moles. And unit for the second one is going to be all in liters. So why is mole to mole ratio so important? What is the purpose of mole ratio? Why do we need to know that? This is when you want to convert one substance to another. For example, the question tells you amount of hydrogen gas, and they want to know how many moles of oxygen you'll need to complete the reaction. So here what you have to do is then take the moles of hydrogen given in the question, and you need to convert that to moles of oxygen. Do you notice that H2 and O2 is not the same substance? They're 2 different substances. So anytime you need to convert one substance, in this example, converting moles of hydrogen gas to oxygen gas, you'll need to use mole ratio. In that case, it's going to be 2 moles to 1 mole. And we'll go over the actual example in the next section.